Causes that forced the colonists to break away from Great Britain is because of several reasons. One of the reasons is because of the Proclamation of 1763. The main people who were involved in the Proclamation of 1763 were Native Americans, the British Parliament was ruled by King George III, and the colonists. The proclamation came after the French Indian War. Because of the Proclamation of 1763, the colonists were not allowed to settle beyond the Appalachian Mountains. The British Parliament did not have enough money to protect colonists from Native Americans because of debt from the French Indian War. This caused resentment among the colonists, so the colonists fought for freedom to settle there. The colonists were upset with Parliament because most of them came to the colonies to build farms in which they needed the extension of land. In the year 1765, the Stamp Act law was passed. This law was passed because the British king wanted to tax the colonists by stamping commercial documents to prove that they paid for the tax. In October 1765, 9 colonies sent delegates to the Stamp Act in Congress in New York. This law was passed to support the colonies. The colonists had to pay for the Stamp Acts in silver coins, a scarce item in the colonies. Many colonists didn't like it. By doing this, British would gain more power. Samuel Adams and Patrick Henry were the main people who helped stop the Stamp Act. A third cause that led the colonists to break away from Great Britain is the Boston Massacre. At this time, Boston was under the command of British General Thomas Gage. With the British's arrival, tension filled the streets of Boston. The Boston Massacre occurred because the colonists did not want the British soldiers to be in their city. A group of colonists saw the British soldiers walking, so the group of colonists approached the soldier and called the soldiers names, such as redcoats and lobsterbacks. After a while, the colonists then started to throw objects, such as snowballs, at the soldiers, and continued to insult them by calling them names. Later on, one British soldier started to fire at the colonists, and because of the first shot, most of the British soldiers also started firing. The British soldiers killed 5 colonists due to the shooting. After the massacre, the group of British soldiers went to trial, and 2 of them were sent to prison, and the rest of the soldiers were mocked. The British Tea Party is one of the final reasons why the colonists broke away from Great Britain. The Boston Tea Party happened because the British kept the tax on tea. The Parliament had kept this tax on tea to show that it still had the right to tax the colonists. Tea was very popular in the colonies. The Tea Act had given the British East Indian Company over the American tea trade. The tea would arrive in the colonies only in the trading company's ship, and it would then be sold there for merchants. Some of the colonists were very angry about this, so they disguised themselves as Native Americans and unloaded 342 crates of tea into the Boston Harbor. And these are some of the facts of why the colonists broke away from Great Britain.